Hey there, my Battlefield friends and fans! Welcome back to Battlefield 1. Wow, I just realized it's been a while since I last posted a gaming video. 3 weeks exactly, actually, since I posted my last Battlefield 1 video. And that doesn't mean I haven't played. I play every day, of course. I'm a huge fan of this game. Even when I play other games in between, I always, at the end of the day, before I go to bed, I play at least a couple of rounds of Battlefield 1, because that to me is just like what I need to have a good night's sleep. Sounds kind of crazy, but that's me. I don't know about you. Let me know how you feel about games and how they, help you in your life to get through, all this stuff that's going on right now that a lot of us are depressed about. And the games always help us get past this. I had just a lot of other personal issues to deal with lately, and so I just didn't really have time to make a video, and I also didn't really feel to make videos, because I like to make videos when I'm in a good mood and I have enough energy to do so, because I want the videos to be good. And I also wasn't really playing as well, because when you are not feeling well, you automatically don't perform well in things like playing games, because it's all about your brain. And especially in multiplayer, you really need to be there, and if you're not really there, then you just don't play well. At least that's always the case for me. So last night, for some reason, even though I have a cold right now, as you may hear in my voice, I'm going through another cold, my second one this year, which is really weird, because usually I rarely get sick, and I have usually only about one cold a year, if at all. I have had years where I had nothing at all, and due to some stress, I think my immune system just kind of broke down, and this is my second cold this year, which is kind of annoying, but it's not a bad one. I think I should be past that probably in a couple of days or so. But for some reason, last night I just had an amazing night. My accuracy was insane. I had a lot of fun. I knew every game. I was like way positive. Almost every shot was on, and I was just like, what is going on? Must be the Theraflu I'm taking for my cold or something. Something is actually just making me just perform super well, and I enjoyed it, and I took advantage of it, and I was like, I'm gonna have to just play as long as I can until I can't keep my eyes open anymore. And this is actually a custom game. I played just custom games lately in the last couple of weeks or so. I just mainly played custom games, and this is actually the one that pops up every once in a while, or once a week, every Friday. It's called Play with Dice. And I'm not really sure if you really end up playing with dice here, but it's basically just Conquest, but double the time. So you play all the way to 2,000 points instead of to 1,000 points. And so the match is a lot longer, which I really appreciate, because a lot of times I'm in a match and I have so much fun. I play with a great team. I love the map, maybe even my favorite map in the rotation. And then it's like, oh, it's already over. I wished it would have gone a little longer, and that's what you really get here. You get double the time, which is really awesome. So after I think 2,000 points, I'm usually ready to play on another map. I feel that's just a great time, or amount of time that you play Conquest in a map. I think 1,000 is not enough for me, most of the time not enough for me. And another thing that I really enjoy about custom games is, or this custom game, is that I feel like I got really frustrated lately with playing the regular Conquest, because there are just so many new people playing this game, and I don't mind having new people play this game. Everyone is new at one point, and it's not that those new people are bad, it's just a lot of times they don't they don't know necessarily how to play the match in order to win, or what it takes to win the match, or they don't care about winning, they just care about their death kill ratio. And I believe I actually talked about this before, so I don't want to repeat myself, but basically what happened to me in the past weeks, and I don't know if it was just bad luck, but it was almost like 90% of the matches was like where the enemy had all flags, and it was almost already when I got into the match that the enemy basically owned all the flags besides maybe one, and we just didn't have a chance to recover or even get out of our spot. We were spawn trapped, and it was just awful. And I always kind of try to stick around and not back out, and it's not just because it takes forever to back out and get back into a game, it's also because it's not fair, because what happens a lot when you are in a match and you feel you need everyone to help you out, and all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard and half of the team is gone, and then you have absolutely no chance to win, and it's just very, very frustrating, and it's just not been fun in the past couple of weeks before I started playing custom games. And then when I go into custom games, it feels like custom games are mostly, and let me know if I'm wrong here, but played by people who are more experienced in Battlefield. I think a lot of new players don't really dare to go into custom games yet. They think they need more skills and they're not good enough. I may be wrong here, but it feels like it's more like veterans that play this, because you can just kind of tell by the way they play that they really know how to play the game, and you end up a lot less in games where it's absolutely uneven. But even that, I feel like DICE really needs to do something to balance those games better. If there is one match where one team is just absolutely doing bad, they should shuffle the people that in the next match it's kind of like a nice mix between the better players and the not so good players, so the balance is kind of back. And if for some reason it just doesn't do that, and I find that super, super frustrating. So you play 3 games like this and you just get so tired of it because you don't have fun. And if you don't have fun in a game, what's the point of even playing games? I mean, after all, video games are supposed to be fun and not frustration, and they are not supposed to feel like work. We have enough of that in real life, don't we? So enough of that. That's just what I wanted to mention, and so you know why I'm playing custom games lately, and I really, really enjoy playing custom games. Let me know if you have tried any custom games, which ones are your favorite. But now I want to actually kind of talk about the next DLC that's coming out in March, and I haven't really found an exact date. They always say March, and when you have the premium pass you can get access to it 2 weeks early, which is really awesome. So I got my premium pass I think about a month ago, because I want to have access to the DLCs earlier. The earlier the better, of course. And you know what, you also get a better deal, because if you pay the DLCs separately, you actually end up paying a lot more money, and I feel it's a really good deal if you get 16 maps for $50 plus early access plus a lot of new guns. I mean, that to me is just a no-brainer when I think about how easily we spend $50 on other things and they only last a few minutes, like for example food. So back to the DLC, the first DLC, They Shall Not Pass, which you most likely have heard about because the news kind of spread around about 5 days ago, and I'm a little late right now. But I'm really excited about those 4 maps. The first one is a map that plays at night on a hill that's on fire, and we all know that the fire can kill you really, really fast if you happen to run through it. So I can imagine that on this map a lot of people will catch on fire and die, not from gun bullets, but from actually just burning to death. Oh, how horrible. And then the second map plays in a fort, which kind of reminds me from the picture a lot on a map that we had in Battlefield 3, which was an infantry only map, which I liked a lot. And I can imagine, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually copied a lot of the elements from that map into this map and then just kind of adjusted it a little bit. And why not? I mean, why not recycle some of the maps? I mean, I have nothing about it, against it really, but it does look very suspiciously close to that map, which I forgot what the name was of it, but if you've played Battlefield 3, I'm sure you know which one I mean. And then we have Soissons, and I don't know if I say that right, even though I had French in school for a long time and I used to speak a little French, but I kind of forgot that all over all those years not using it. That's just a cute little French village, which looks a lot like the village in this map that we have here. So it may be very, very similar, but it seems to be pretty much just a village, I think. And then we have Rupture, which is also on a hill, and this is actually, I recognize that location a lot from the single player where you wait, or playing in the trenches, but up on the hill with a really nice view over some European landscape. So that's going to be really fun to play. I can't wait. And I'm also really interested to see what kind of new weapons they add, of course, like we all are. And then they have a new game mode called Frontlines, which is a mixture of Conquest and Rush. So where you have to play some kind of tug-of-war game at the front line, actually the way it was in real war, where you move forward, you actually win that kind of piece of land, and if you lose you have to retrieve. And I'm really, really curious to see how that plays out. And then of course we have a new behemoth, which is a humongous, huge tank, which apparently really existed in real life. And that's going to be really scary because it's going to be a behemoth, which means it's going to be hard to take down, and that tank can go anywhere. So that can be very, very frightening. I could just imagine a lot of people dying when the enemy team gets hands on this tank. And then we have a new just regular tank, an assault tank. Don't know how that will perform. We'll see about that. And a new class, a Trench Raider Elite class, which I think is one of those special classes pickups that you can be like a hero for a few minutes until they take you down. And a new stationary weapon, which is similar to the field gun. So that's always good to have. So that's basically it about the first DLC that's coming out for Battlefield 1, and it's gonna be all about France. But I'm also hoping that we're gonna get a lot of updates that everyone is waiting for some of those bugs and issues that we're still experiencing, like the black map still comes up, the waiting time still is very long, and some other little things that people are annoyed about. But in general, I have to say this is really a really good release that we had, you know, when you compare it to Battlefield 3, especially to Battlefield 4, which they had so many issues at the beginning. And I'm still enjoying this game every day, even though sometimes it can be frustrating when it's imbalanced. But I'm really hoping that we get some really good updates, because I know DICE is listening to us gamers and our feedback. I hope you like this. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I hope I see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.